can't get this thing to work. It was all right last night.
Hello, Chef Jeff.
Hello, everyone.
What are you doing, Chef Jeff?
Well, I just can't get this radio to work. I turn it on, and it's dead.
Did you try changing the batteries?
Oh. I can't believe I've been so silly. Thank you, Sabeda. I forgot to check the batteries, huh? Nice one. Good chef.
The radio gets its energy from the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
But where do the batteries get their energy from?
Ah, there we go. Ah, it's my grandmother. What was that, Johnny? Where do batteries get their energy from?
Yes.
Well, the energy is stored inside the batteries. It's chemical energy that's released when the batteries are put up against the correct connections.
Oh, I know about that. I couldn't understand why my tape recorder wasn't playing. Then I realized that I'm supposed to put it in a special way.
Absolutely. Energy flows in a system. All the parts of an energy system work together. In order for a radio or a tape recorder to work, energy needs to flow from one part to the next. Hey, well, where's Solomon?
He's coming now, and he's got a surprise for you.
A surprise? For me?
Yes, and it's just full of energy.
What? What can it be? What is Solomon bringing to surprise Chef Jeff? And it's full of energy? I wonder if it's a big battery, or maybe a lump of coal, or a liter of oil, or the whole of the school soccer team. What?
Wow, Solomon, that's great! Where did you get that from?
A friend of my dad belongs to a miniature train club, and he lent it to me.
It's so sweet. What makes it go? Batteries?
No, Yoli, this is a different kind of energy system.
What were you saying about energy systems?
Well, as you know, energy never disappears. It is just always being transformed from one form to another. We use energy systems to do useful things for us. They're made up of different parts that work together. If something happens to the one part, it will affect the transfer of energy to another part. Like you saw with the radio and the batteries, huh? The batteries weren't connected properly, so it wouldn't work.
So, if this train is one energy system, what are the parts that it needs? And how does energy get transferred from one part to the next in this system?
Do you want to tell us, Solomon?
Okay. This works exactly like a proper steam train.
Why is it called a steam train?
I'm getting there. It's called a steam train because it's steam that makes the wheels go round and make the train move.
And how does that steam get there?
Well, it uses coal as fuel.
And when we burn coal, it makes lots of heat energy.
And the coal is burnt in the furnace here. And the heat energy warms up the boiler here, which is full of water.
Why is it full of water?
Aha! Can anyone guess why the big boiler is full of water?
Do they need hot water to wash the dishes on the train?
I'm sure they do need to wash the dishes, but that's not the reason for the big boiler.
Do they heat up the water, and then the hot water is used to make the train go?
It's not water, it's a...
Oh, I know. It's steam. The water gets so hot that it turns to steam. And the steam somehow makes the wheels go round.
Exactly. That's why it's called a steam train.
Yes, you see, the steam from the water has to go somewhere. So it's pushed down through this pipe down to the valves and pistons. And the pistons make the wheels go around.
It's very, very clever.
And very simple, really. Let's take a look at this full-size steam train. Here she comes. This steam locomotive was made in 1879 in England. She's quite an old lady, about 130 years, but just as strong as ever. Look at her letting off steam. This is the coal tender, and this is how the stoker stokes the fire in the furnace. That means making fire underneath the boiler. The burning coal heats the water in the boiler, which turns into steam. Steam pressure is building up, and off she pulls on her next trip. That's a big load for such an old lady. The day's work is done and off to her shed she goes for the night.
Use these steam trains, Chef Jeff?
No, not really. They're not as efficient as electric trains. And also because they use coal, they might become difficult to fuel. In South Africa, we still have a few of them, and people like to ride on them because there aren't that many steam trains left now.
Jeff, you said this was an energy system. What other kinds of energy systems are there?
Well, there are lots of energy systems in the world. Here, guys, have some fruit. Actually, we're part of an energy system right now. This is called the food chain.
What's the food chain?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's ask the old tree to help us out.
The food chain. Oh, yes. Now that is a very important thing in the world. Let's see. We start with the sun. The sun's warmth and light help the plants to grow. And those plants become food for things like, locusts. Now the locusts eat the plants to give them energy. But they're eaten by birds who swoop down from the sky to eat them up. And then those little birds get eaten by even bigger birds. So all the parts of this energy system are linked. If there were no plants, there'd be no food for the locusts. And if there were no locusts, then the birds would not have anything to eat. And if the little birds weren't there, then the big birds like the eagles would also have no food. This is the food chain, and it's also an energy system.
Marvin.
Yeah, well, Marvin.
You know, I've been thinking.
Oh, dear. Yes?
You know that we eat small animals, eh?
Yes, but I'm not comfortable with you describing it like that.
Well, we do. And you know that those small animals eat smaller animals or insects.
Yes?
Well, doesn't that seem odd to you?
No, why?
Well, everything smaller is being eaten by everything bigger.
Yep. It's called the food chain.
The food chain.
We are a link in that chain you've just been talking about.
Wow! So that's giving a fancy name to my idea.
It's not your idea, Marvin. It's been around a long time.
They stole it from me, eh? I'm sure.
What made you think about that?
Well, I was just thinking how good it was that we are at the top of the chain.
At the top?
Yes. Why are you laughing?
Okay. We're not at the top, Marvin.
We are not?
What do you think the lions eat?
Oh, dear. I didn't think of that. Oh, no. Now I'm depressed.
Don't worry, Marvin. They're not going to eat you.
Why not?
Because you smell so awful. They wouldn't come near you.
Aye, those meerkats, eh?
This fruit is good. Thank you, Chef Jeff.
It's a pleasure. I wanted to make sure you all had enough energy to help me wash all those dishes over there.
Of course we'll help, Chef Jeff. Come on, Harry. Here's the clock.
An energy system is what we need to get us going, to help us feed. We certainly need a lot of fuel, cause we're hungry, though we're happy people.
We're very glad to be on top of the chain. Think little and eating
Not
more
feeling strain,
but no one comes to lunch on us.
cause we're bosses of the river.
Us hippos,
Cause we're bosses of the river.
us hippos,
Cause we're bosses of the river.
us hippos. Cause we're bosses of the river, us hippos.
What? Huh? Did you see that steam train that Solomon brought into the cafe? Amazing, huh? And it works as an energy system, and each part of the process is very important. Imagine that. Coal makes heat, which makes the water hot, which gives us steam, which makes the wheels turn round. What?
We have to go now, but I wonder if you can think of any other animals or insects that form a food chain. See you soon.
Bye.
An energy system is what we need to get us going, to help us feed. We certainly need a lot of fuel, cause we're hungry, though happy people.
We're very glad to be at the top of the chain. Being little and eating must be a
Straight,
but no one comes to lunch on us.
cause we're bosses of the river.
Us hippos,
Cause we're bosses of the river.
us hippos,
Cause we're bosses of the river.
us hippos.